We can post it. So tell me about any wins, shout outs, or where you saw team values exhibited yesterday. Yeah, you can start, Greg. Go ahead.
Wins and teamwork, both wins and teamwork. All right. We got this young man who joined our team like 2 months ago, if that. He followed up with this for sale by owner, locked in a $7 million listing a couple of days ago. And it was so cool because we got to going together, and it was just so orchestral and peaceful, and man, it was magic. It was so great. Yeah.
Fantastic. Elaine will probably be on. He's actually going on a listing appointment today for an $8 million property.
Whoa.
And not to do one up, but just the same kind of thing where he's had to follow up. The guy's put him off several times and just sticking with it. So
love that.
Great story about follow up. Okay. Who else has any wins, shout outs, or where you saw team values exhibited yesterday? Annalise?
I have a showing for my downtown $1 million property, so I'm excited about that. And we're going to do an open house tour in another week. So with all the other agents with listings in the building. So
okay, we'll do one more. Preston, Annalise, Zach, Stephen, or Amy?
Hey, I was trying to figure out how to raise my hand, Wes. I couldn't figure it out, but I just jumped in. Were we on values or gratitudes?
Either shout outs, wins, or team values.
Well, I'll just shout you guys out. We hopped on and we're hearing like $7 million and $8 million and $1 million properties. And that has not always been the case for us, but I'm going to just take that energy and ride that wave, and we're gonna go prospect some $1 million properties today, because now we've got $1 million real estate agent mindset. So I appreciate that.
Very good. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Greg. Greg, first off, tell us about yourself. Tell us about how you got into real estate, when you came on the place, and again what we're going to be talking about today. And you do have the ability to share screen if you have any slides or anything. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Greg Carlson, Carlson Real Estate Group over in Austin, Texas. Been a realtor for 6 years this April. So far, so fun. It wasn't necessarily an easy start for me. It took me probably 8 months to close my first transaction. Then last year, did around 60 on my own. And yeah, things are just taking off year over year. It's a blessing to be in real estate. Totally. So let's get to it, shall we? Your time's precious. It's valuable. I'm going to share some really good stuff with y'all. So buckle your seatbelts. You're in for a treat today. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Wait for it. Boom. Before we get started, what questions can I answer?
What is the 15th protocol?
Glad you asked. We're going to cover that here shortly. Here's the problem, folks, that we're going to talk about solving today. It's the 15th of the month, and you realize that you are behind on your goals. I don't know about you. That has happened to me a time or two. So what's the solution? Well, first and foremost, we need to look at the data, because the numbers don't lie. We all know this. So let's take a look at the gap to goal and come up with a plan. This is known as, well, you said it, the 15th protocol. The way we look at our business can be compared to sports such as offense and defense. So our listing strategy rather, that's our defense. And the offense are our pendings and closed transactions. These fund our businesses as well as our lives. All right, it's the 15th. You've got your 411 meetings. Y'all call it the 411. Is that right? For your accountability meetings, or do you call it something else?
One-on-ones also.
One-on-ones. Okay, perfect. Yep. So let's look at the scoreboard during the one-on-ones. The 15th protocol is looking at the score and adding to or adjusting the activity level to get back on track and actually execute the goal. So starting goal for defense, let's say, for example, you wanted to take 10 listings in January, right? 10 listings in January. Remember that number. Then the offense is your pendings and closed goal. Let's say that that's 10 for the month of January, right? 10 and 10, easy to remember. Uh-oh, looks like the listings you actually took were only 3. Okay, so the gap to goal here is 70%. Now, again, I don't know about y'all. This happens for one reason or another. It happens to the best of us. So let's come up with a plan, shall we? What we're going to do is follow a predetermined plan. We know exactly what it takes to get business, to put people under contract, so on and so forth. And if we don't, well, we're going to cover that here in the slides moving forward. So we're going to follow that predetermined plan. And remember, amateurs wing it and professionals have processes. This was stated by Chris Suarez a couple months back. It stuck with me. And we're going to go out and make up the difference. So here's some fun math for you. Don't worry if y'all forget this or get a little lost here. I've got a list of resources at the end of this that I'm going to text in the comment section. So you'll have access to this whole thing. So let's say, for example, folks, if January's units closed goal is 10, but the actual is only 2, well, we're going to have to reconcile the month's units closed goal to 8, right? It was once 10. We then reconcile it to 8 because we only got 2. So we replace the missing 2 by adding them to February's goal, making February's goal now 12. Erase and replace. Okay. So January's closed actual is 2 plus the pendings for the month is 6, which equals 8. Okay. Now this is where the real raw math comes in. This is a real kind of punch in the gut in a good way. It should be motivation, right? So the units set to close for February is 6 and it should be 12. This creates a deficit overall of 6. That's the gap to goal, 6. So what's it going to take to get those 6 extra closings or pendings for the month? Well, we're going to go ahead and initiate the 15th protocol. Here's a couple of bullet points on what to actually do at a high level. Attend call nights. Y'all have the call nights once a month. Is that right?
Yes, tonight.
Oh, yeah, me too. Awesome. Very cool. $1,000 day as well, I assume. Inventory creation day.
Yep.
And
First of the month, and then also with Fred's.
oh, perfect. And then we also want to get hyper focused. Remember this one. We're going to get hyper focused on the names of the people we intend to get under contract. I'm sure we've each got a list with people that are actively thinking about selling or actively looking to buy. We're going to get focused on those people and see what it takes to actually get them under contract. Couple principles to live by when implementing the 15th protocol. Your business plan is a schedule for your money. And as stated before, if we erase, we must replace. Any questions so far?
Tell us about the erase or replace.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, February's goal is to close 10 units. And then or at the end of February, you realize you've only closed 5 units. Well, you've got to add those 5 units that you did not close from February. You've got to add that onto March. Thus making, if March's original goal was 10, now March's goal is 15. The 15th protocol is all about taking massive action, doing whatever it takes to get across the finish line, AKA your goals. Woo! All right, cool. So that's a little bit about the 411 or the 15th protocol, folks. What I like to do with y'all's permission is highlight a couple of the main topics that we cover in the one-on-ones or the 411s. Do I have y'all's permission to kind of go down the job, the finance, and the experiential living pieces? Do we have enough time for that?
Go ahead. I think we may.
Okay. I'll do my best to be conscious of the clock. For the job section, 4 main categories we talk about are the lead generation, obviously, lead follow-up, script practice, and education. So what I'm going to do today is provide some helpful tips and tricks that have worked for me and others in the organization. Lead generation. Remove any item from your calendar that does not support this goal. Okay. Remove any item from your calendar that does not support your goal of lead generation. If you can, right? You have to, you obviously have to live your life and take care of other people. But this is the number one thing that's going to get you to your goal of your pendings, actives, and closings. Add realistic time blocks to the calendar. Okay. Let's say, for example, you're door knocking and it's 0 degrees out. Don't write door knocking for 6 hours if it's 0 degrees. Be really conscious of this. Choose the lead generation source. Follow the lead generation time block protocol. And what I mean by this is really cool stuff here. Eliminate any distractions, AKA text messages, emails, get rid of all of that. Take systematic breaks. For example, okay, I'm going to take a break after I make 10 conversations, 15 conversations. Write down your goals for lead generation before starting, such as, well, if I'm going to call for 3 hours, how many breaks I'm going to take, how many conversations am I going to have, and how many appointments am I going to set? And last but not least, make sure you've got some snacks and you've got some water. And a great resource is Mega Lead Conversion. That's a Keller Williams or MAPS course, rather, hosted by Anna Kruger, and I'll send you all the link for that. Lead follow-up. Consider weekend and evening time blocks, such as if you're going to door knock on a Saturday morning, your response rate is going to be phenomenal as opposed to a Thursday afternoon in the middle of a workday. Set auto plans on Brivity for every single lead that you have. There's an auto plan out there for everybody. And remember, if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Ooh. Script practice, a couple awesome tips and tricks for script practicing effectively. Write down the script with your pen 5 times at a minimum. Say it out loud in the mirror with a smile 30 times. Practice makes perfect. We never want to handle an objection without a smile. Add personal vernacular to the script, such as y'all or don't you know if you're from Wisconsin, so on and so forth. Watch a similar script on the internet and play it in the car on your drive to work and appointments. And then also record yourself, because we're professionals. And I like to consider myself a professional athlete where my baseball swing is my scripts. Right. So I practice, or I video record myself script practicing, and I watch it over and over again. Y'all do that by chance? Or have you ever done it at least once?
I've never recorded my overcoming objections. I recorded my listing presentation before.
Oh, awesome. And was that effective for you?
It was. it showed me where I was saying or things of that nature.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ums and uhs. I love them. Education. I totally recommend listening to podcasts, audiobooks, and YouTube is a wealth of great resources. The Place Toolkit, of course. Create a plan and time block it and stick to the time block. Sprinkle a little discipline on top of it, and you're sure to see success. Figure out what part of your business needs improvement the most and hire a coach. Even Michael Jordan had a coach up to his last day of playing basketball. Be open to receiving peer feedback, and most importantly, remove anything that does not serve this goal, your overall goal, and replace it with a time block, being super conscious of our calendars. Part 2 is finance, fund allocation, pay off debt, investing and savings. We have what's called a fund allocation form. It's again a Keller Williams product, and it'll help you get an idea of what you need to make for not only survival, but also to live a life by design. And it breaks it down by units closed, GCI, and everything in between. Really helpful tool. Hire a personal investment advisor. As realtors, obviously, we know how to make real estate investments. What if you need investments elsewhere? Hire the pros. They can help you. Create a weekly plan and take Profit Camp and read Profit First, the book. Profit First changed my accounting system completely, and it's changed my life. It is amazing. Highly recommend. And don't worry, I've got the link for that book at the end. Pay off debt. I recommend taking that Well series by Win Make Give podcast. Ben Kinney does a killer job on that. Schedule time to read each day about debt reduction. Sign up for Dave Ramsey's program and create a system behind finances. Finances is one of the most important aspects of our lives. So don't be afraid to systematize it. I heard that in bold a couple of weeks back. It was a very powerful statement. Investing, I recommend investing in your mind, right? In your skill set. So reading 52 books a year, it can be done, especially if you put audio books on 2 times the speed, you can knock that out. Take a look into Bigger Pockets podcast, Pace Morby's Facebook group, and build your investment fund to 40% of your income. Okay. We're gonna cover here in a second the 40% rule, which is coined by Mr. Grant Cardone. If you all know who he is, he's a fired up dude. Only save money that has the intention to be invested, right? Because if you have your cash on hand, if you have a boatload of cash on hand, it's dead money. It's losing money. So only keep money on hand that is going to pay your bills, and invest the rest. So 40% of the money that you get should be put towards the stash fund, aka the money that you're going to use for investments, 20% for living expenses, and then 40% for Uncle Sam. Number 3 out of 4 is the experiential living aspect of the 411. It's broken down into spiritual, health, relationships, and personal time. Brace yourselves. We're about to get deep here in a second. Find accountability. Accountability is breakfast of champions. No one ever succeeded alone, right? Seems y'all do a great job on that with your one-on-ones. So cool. Book time to find nourishment and do this consistently. Write a list of what replenishes you. This is gold, folks. Write a list of what replenishes you. I actually have a list of great memories that I've had in my life, activities I like to do, and then last but not least, the list is comprised of goals, things that I would like to do in the future. When I look at that, if I'm having like kind of a low mood day, I open that list up and it just brings me right back up. It is awesome. And practice this daily. Practice your spirituality daily, right? Health. Start small. Like, oh, this one's good, right? So let's say, for example, you've got a health goal on your 411. I recommend starting small by, for example, if you want to run a marathon, but just put on your shoes and go for a walk on the first day. Let's say you haven't ran in years. Just go for a quick walk. Start small, get that momentum going. Print a plan and look at it every single day. So when they say keep your goals in front of you, folks, it's a literal statement. Put your goals everywhere you go. Have it easily accessible so you can't help it. You can't forget. Find accountability again and dig deep. Ask yourself how important your health is. Think about other people and how they're relying on you. Boy, if that doesn't hit you in the heart, I don't know what does. Relationships. Watch out, folks. We're about to go deep. So before we talk a little bit about relationships, this has a lot to do with kind of facing our inner challenges, so to speak, and finding a really good foundation and going up from there, right? Write down your feelings towards people, towards specific people. Write down anything that might come to mind. This is going to unlock a lot for one. Apologize to the people you've wronged. This is going to clear up that nagging feeling. Anytime you see somebody or think of somebody or walk past them in the hall and it's just creates an awkward feeling for you, just apologize to them. Be the better person and move on. Yeah. Oh, this one's a tough one even for me. Where are you lying to yourself? Right? Oof. I ask myself that question, and when I really take time to answer it, I uncover a lot, and it's helpful. It's not easy. It is helpful. What trauma did you face? What's the best way to heal from it? And I also recommend hiring a therapist or engage in group talk. The underlying theme here is growth, folks, by getting out of our comfort zones and facing our inner challenges. Woo! Last but not least, personal time. We talked a little bit about creating that list of what makes you happy. Add the activities to the calendar and don't deviate from that plan. Turn off the phone for an hour in the morning to help own your day. This is based off the premise of responding versus reacting. We want to respond as real estate professionals. We don't want to be reactive, because when we react, the circumstance could end not in our favor. Be okay with doing less. Shanji Ribeiro, one of the most winning jiu-jitsu professionals of all time, says that we grow when we rest. He's like, Greg, if you work out every single day, when are your muscles going to repair? Well, same thing goes with all the activities we do in the real estate business. It is a strain on our mind. We need to take that rest and protect it at all costs. Understand energy and what your body and mind needs, right? Self-awareness and mindfulness. And then reward yourself every single day. Don't shy away from this. Every day you win in one way or another. You either win or you learn, right? So celebrate that. Celebrate that in a way that's meaningful to you. Holy smokes. We're done already. Wow. Thanks for listening, folks. What questions can I answer for y'all?
Is there a way to get a copy of all that?
Certainly.
That'd be awesome.
Robbie Sands, y'all work together? What's up, man?
Hey, buddy, how are you doing? I enjoyed that. I appreciate you going over that for us.
Yeah, of course, my pleasure. I know it was a lot. We covered a lot. Any
Good stuff,
questions?
Greg. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, if you want to share the slides with me, I'll go ahead and share them with the team. With
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just share the whole thing. That'll work just fine. And it's got at the last page, it's got a list of all the resources of the things we covered here today.
Fantastic.
All right,
All right,
folks.
any other questions?
Yeah, so what is your, how do you schedule your day?
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so mornings are quiet time. By mornings, I mean before I get into my car. Before I get into my car and leave to work. I read the Bible. I take my time eating, reflect on the day ahead, relax a little bit. And then once I get in my car, I turn the phone on do not disturb, get into the office. We've got our power-ups in the mornings and then 3 hours of lead generation after that. 3 hours of dedicated lead generation, no distractions, emails are off, text messages are off. Lunch break, and then afternoons are scheduled for appointments, education, and yeah, that's about it. Going on appointments and learning if we don't have appointments.
And what is your lead generation look like?
Yeah, I kick it off with calling expires withdrawals and FSBOs. And once I run out of those, then I go into the data bank. And then once I'm done with my data bank calls, I go right into cold calling on Mojo.
And then what's your team like?
Got 5 active agents and then myself, so 6. We've got 2 full-time ISAs doing different things, and then 1 part-time that does marketing.
Oh, great. And you guys all go into the office?
Yes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. Now, Wednesday is our flex day because typically realtors work on the weekends, hosting open houses and stuff. So if they want to come in on a Wednesday, totally fine. Also, agents are not expected to be in the office in the afternoons if they don't want to. I don't want real estate agents to feel like they're cooped up in an office. I don't think that's why they joined real estate.
But
So if I
they're-
host a training in the afternoon, it's like y'all can hop on a Zoom call if you want. Yeah. What's that?
Everyone comes in the mornings.
Yep. Mhm.
Great.
Y'all fired up or what? You ready to get after it today?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's go.
Greg, thank you so much. We appreciate the time you gave us today.
My pleasure. Stay
Any
fired up,
comments or
everybody.
questions before Greg heads out?
Thank you.
All right.
Always happy to help. Cheers.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.